Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another round of I'm back. Hello everyone. That was a little magic trick that wasn't supposed to happen, but we are back again for Super Rugby Pacific. Like I was mentioning, round 12. Hopefully it doesn't cut me off again, but this game, the Reds taking on the Chiefs in what should be a very exciting game. It is at FMG Stadium, so home field advantage does go the way of the Chiefs here, the undefeated side and the only undefeated side in Super Rugby Pacific so far. But we are now underway, ladies and gentlemen. Damian McKenzie taking it inside of the 22. In fact, we might not be at FMG Stadium. We're in Taranaki, maybe. Looking a little bit different. Might actually be at a different stadium than the one that I did just mention. It is going to be Cortez Ratama inside of the 22 now. Damian McKenzie kicking it towards the touchline. Nice clearing kick there. Does go into touch about 40 metres out from the Chiefs line. I hope you guys are all doing well. All Blacks missing at the moment. They've got their rest week, which means that Sam Cane is out. Also means that Brad Weber, unavailable for this contest, is John Ryan 3. For the Chiefs, he is indeed. And I'm a Kiwi, so I picked the Chiefs. Oh, hi, Kiwi lads. Good evening to you, says Spider-Mick. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. And not so many fans in the stadium, says Ed, only because of the difference in the way that the stadium's set out. So the Taranaki one on the far side, there's only really infrastructure and whatnot, but on this near side, they've got the stand, which does have quite a few people by the sounds of it. But now nice backline movement coming here from the Reds. The away sides, they were huge underdogs for this contest. McDermott trying to milk the offside penalty, but almost ends up stepping into touch instead. Now Filippo Dalgunu going across. Fraser McWright, he's going to have a massive game this one. Another big run forward from the Reds. Are you doing the Munster match tomorrow? I certainly am. And is it cold there? It's going to be 3 overnight here. So currently we are apparently at 11 degrees, but it is not 11 degrees outside. And also I'm miles behind, haven't even kicked off yet, says the 6 there. One is going to go into touch. Reds under pressure at the moment. Dalgunu doesn't manage to get it out, but it's going to be a tricky game for the Reds. Coming in as such underdogs, away from home. The good news for them is the Chiefs are missing a couple players, so that might be their opportunity to pounce. See what they can do. But Cortez Ratama now going back across to Anton Leonard-Brown playing at number 12. In fact, no, he's playing at 13 for this game. Your final score prediction, I think. Oh, that was a big shot on Cortez Ratama. The ball does go into touch. Reds will have the line out, but I would say Chiefs by 8. I don't think they're going to absolutely dominate this game. I feel like we're going to see some Reds attack. It's just going to be very tricky. The best line out in the competition we've just heard from the commentators, but now it's back across to Siru, 15 metres out from their own line here, the Reds. McDermott looking to fire it back into the pocket. Where they sell the dummy. That was silly from the Reds play. He really put his team under pressure. And now it's going to be a 5-metre line out for the Chiefs. Who was that? Who was that? I want to say that was Lawson Creighton. He acted like he was going to kick it. Then he didn't. And then Josh Law just slapped it out from his feet. And then it only went about 5 metres out. Go the Chiefs blasting the opposition away. Says Roof in there and slick haircut lad, says Ed. Cheers. Got it today. We've been out and about. I actually got home about maybe 25 minutes before this kickoff of this contest, but we have got plenty of the sevens coming up throughout this weekend alongside the URC semi-finals. Quite a hectic one indeed. And now the rolling ball here for the Chiefs. Bradley Slater at the back. Breaks off. No, they've been able to stop him. Pull him down 5 metres out from the line. And now the Reds getting over the ball. Almost getting the turnover penalty. Cortez Ratama goes across to Josh Lord. And he was able to partially charge down that original kick from the Reds. Another short ball to Tupavai. Not much separation between the Chiefs and their first try in this contest. So wide cut out ball to Etena Nana Satoro, driven into touch by Filippo Dalguna. Very nicely done. Sean Stevens, an all-time try scorer, says Ed. Yeah, at the moment he is leading the comp. Although just behind him is the Western Force winger, isn't he? He's going to be playing in the next game up against the Fijian Drua. So it will be interesting to see if he can get himself a couple more. Watching him in Vietnam at a pub. Lagging to the max, says a 6. Never heard of anyone watching Super Rugby in Vietnam, I don't think. So is it through Sky? I'm not sure what it would be through, actually. Maybe Flow Rugby, is it? Is Nick White really signed with the Force next year? Says yeah, that does seem to be the case. He's leaving the Brumbies. I wasn't sure who he was going to be signing with as of yet, but yeah, the Western Force, that will be a new task for him to try and accomplish. Dake McDermott kicks it into touch. Chiefs still heavily applying the pressure. Start of this one. Sean Stevenson is going to be the next big thing for the All Blacks, says Gita. Yeah, if he isn't in the squad, I'd be very surprised. But who knows? Maybe he's not in the Ian Foster picture. Maybe he's in the Scott Robinson picture as that kind of future option rather than the present, even though he's in great form at the moment, which they should put him in, though. Cortez Aratama goes off to the right-hand side. Inside ball there from John Ryan. 5 meters out, Cortez Aratama goes to Damien McKenzie stepping. It is dragged down nicely by the Reds lock. Lord. Back to Sean Stevenson, finds the offload to Slater, slings the ball out wide. It's got to be a try, and yes, it is. The Tino Nana gets the first try of the match for the Chiefs. Could be the first of many. And which part of Australia are the Reds from? They are from Queensland. So the 5 teams for Super Rugby, all separated throughout. We're going to see the Western Force play in Perth just a little bit later on tonight. The Brumbies, they are from Canberra. The Rebels are Melbourne, and then the team that I have missed must be the Waratahs, which is New South Wales. Where they are. And good morning, great run from the Chiefs. I wonder when it will come to an end. Doubt this week, says Rooster. Yeah, if they lose this week, it would be quite surprising, although getting close to those finals, normally going into quarterfinal undefeated puts a lot of extra pressure on you. But that seems to be what the Chiefs are handling at the moment. They've got a huge amount of pressure on them going into those later stages, but they're playing very good rugby at the moment. So it will be interesting to see who they come up against in their quarterfinal. And I see Greg a little bit earlier on, and here come the Chiefs, says Novmum. Last thing we want is Nick White in the West, says Johnny there. I think we were listening to the Reds huddle there, or the Chiefs huddle, one of the two. Damien McKenzie going to be lining up this kick. 7 minutes into the contest. The coming World Cup in France will be decided by the referees. Barnes, the problem for our boys in black, says Bidemick. Yeah, they did announce the referees, didn't they, recently? Ben O'Keefe, Kiwi, getting the opportunity go over and ref the World Cup. Congratulations to him. Damien McKenzie lining up this kick, taking his time, smiling at the posts, hoping one day they may smile back. And he shanked it. Going away to the left-hand side, so there will be an unsuccessful conversion. 5-0 now in favour of the Chiefs and breakfast cheese bread with Nutella. Cheese and Nutella is a combination I don't think I've ever heard someone try. I'm just trying to think. I mean, you have like, I guess, cream with chocolate in terms of what it's made of. So maybe it'll be all right. Depends what type of cheese is it. Roof on the bread in Queensland Reds. Sees head kick downfield by the Reds. Back to Damien McKenzie. Goes across to Sean Stevenson. Now trying to back his space to go around the outside as Siru Uru does so successfully. Now Tino Nanasatoro tackled by Fraser McWright. And I expect quite a bit from him in the breakdowns throughout this game. For Fraser, that bouncing ball goes straight to the man on the 22, Jock Campbell. Well, the Reds will return fire. Back down to Damien McKenzie. Playing a game of force back at the moment with the Reds. That one does go into touch on the halfway line. Decent kick and nice Nick White. Take his great mustache and his expertise to the force. He's actually a good player. There's Ruth in there as well. And speaking of good players, Damien McKenzie very recently bringing up the 1,000 points for the Chiefs. Extremely impressive from him. And how's it going, H? Who scored? Just tuned in, says Wonga. So the first try of the contest was scored by Atene Nanasatoro out on that left wing side. Unsuccessful conversion, though, from Damien McKenzie. It was quite wide out. To the right now, going to be a nice run from Vunivalu. And can they beat the Crusaders 3 times in a year? It's the big question, says the 6. It would be extremely impressive if they do, because even the last time that the Crusaders lost twice to the one side it's quite some time. Now, talking about this game, how the Reds, the last time they won on New Zealand soil was actually 2013, almost a decade. The Brad Thorne last season coached the Reds. I think he's getting close to the end of his contract, isn't he? Not sure whether or not they'll re-sign him or whether they'll go with maybe someone else. There's another option, but it is going to be the penalty against the Chiefs. I believe the late shot coming in from Samipeni Finau. Now Jock Campbell will be kicking this one for the touchline. That's the thing. I don't see the Reds taking too many three-pointers early on here. They know that the Chiefs are going to be a side that will just keep on attacking and attacking. Yeah, that was very late from Samipeni Finau. Understandable penalty against the Chiefs there. So I should mention, next live stream we've got Fiji and Drua versus the Force. Then about 15 minutes through that one, we are actually going to be transferring over to Samoa versus Ireland. And then we're hoping to be able to transfer back at the end. I don't know how it's going to work with the overlap, but we're hoping to make it work smoothly, which I haven't really worked out as of yet. Tried my best to find a guest to be able to help me co-host, and everyone was busy. So it is just myself, myself, and I. Nice run here from Ravai, getting close to the line now. Only 2 meters out here for the Reds. First real attacking opportunity inside of the 22. Sarah Uru round to the left-hand side. Tackled well by John Ryan and Cortez Aratama. Closer and closer to the post here. Slowly drifting across to the left, although McDermott decides to go with the snipe the other way. Tries to get back up to his feet. Can't get there. Now around the side, Fraser McWright wrestled down as well. Chiefs defending very well. That's very close to going over. Ravai half an inch from the line. Now around the side. Once again dragged down. Brilliant defense from the Chiefs. But it was only a matter of time. The Reds get in for the first try of the match. And I think it was George Blake, the number one, who manages to get himself over the line. And I stick to my words. Chiefs will never make the final. I put money on it. And I think the Black Ferns Sevens will win the 7 series. Says Nom. They've been going from strength to strength at the moment, the Black Ferns women's side. I was actually, when I got my hair cut today, the person who was cutting my hair, which I am related to distantly, said that one of the other barbers in there, her great auntie for Georgia Miller, one of the Black Fern Sevens. It's a really long connection, but it's there. Something like that. George Blake scores the first try of the match for the Reds. That's probably one that people didn't predict. Oh, and the ball's fallen off. Oh, and because he started approaching it and the ball fell off the tee, unfortunately for Lawson Crichton, that now means that he isn't able to convert it. That's a massive mistake. That's 2 so far in this game that he has blown. I don't know why they've got James O'Connor at 12. I feel like they need to make that sub already. Change them around, even if they end up on equal overall points with Australia, because New Zealand have more gold. There's Novman there. Right, they want to play. And there's going to be an HIA, Manakai Selby Rickett now on the field for the Chiefs. That is for Josh Lord, who had already had quite an impact in the first 12 minutes of the contest. That's a big mistake from the Reds. They could have been sitting 7 points to 5 up. Pretty full haircut. It is Hamish. Sexy as, mate. Says Nazi. Cheers, mate. See, that's the thing. I have no idea what to do with it now. I think I'm going to keep it short for a while, mainly because I had long. I had kind of long. Now I've gone to short, and it's kind of easier just because it normally gets tangled big time. I think I sleep like I've gone for a 5K run. I'm just always turning, and then bloody messy it is. D-Mac is human after all. He's up there with the best. Richie Moonga. I would have watched out for the Mac. He's coming, Hamish. That cheddar is melted, or cheese is melted cheddar with garlic oil in a roll. That sounds really good. Nice run from Bradley Slater. Cortez Aratama now on the 22. Tupavai. Quick hands to Samipeni Finau. Ratama gets it again. D-Mac with the little chip and chase. It looks like it's going to be a hard one, but McKenzie. In fact, it was McDermott who just managed to clean it up. And a big clear and kick downfield from the Reds. A very good one. Damien McKenzie, though, back there waiting for it. 35 metres out now from his own line. Slings it across to Samipeni Finau, who will look to hit it up, but he's tackled. No, he's not. 2 missed tackles in a row. Liam Wright not quite able to hold him. Now looks for the offload. Couldn't quite get it away. Ratama now 14 metres out. Now the Chiefs from their own line. It's going to be Ramika Poya, but goes across to Sean Stevenson. Being chased by Anton Leonard Brown, but it rolls into touch. I will say it again. It doesn't matter how far you are in point or in front on points. You lost the quarters, you're gone. says Buttermick. And also, Hamish Nazi is loving your hairstyle. I think your goatee beard is awesome, says that Roof there. I actually also had that slightly trimmed up a tag because it was getting a bit messy. But yeah, I've only since getting my long hair chopped off, I've only had 2 haircuts. It was weird. Not used to it. And congrats, Reds, says Ruth. I don't think the Chiefs will make the final as well, says Nazi. And James O'Connor is signed by the Force too. I think they're trying to build a super team, the Western Force. To be honest, I think they're slowly just gaining a few extra players, and hopefully it turns into some results going their way. Nice run from Sean Stevenson there for the Chiefs again. 15 minutes into the match at the moment. Anton Leonard-Brown back across to Bradley Slater. Taranaki is missing half a stadium. I think they're in the process of building half a stadium, though, as well, by the looks of everything in the background, unless that's just infrastructure. Now Ratama going to Anton Leonard-Brown. Another big run. McDermott makes the tackle on him. McWright almost able to come in and grab that. But the Chiefs will win by 24 points tonight, says Mr. Lerman. Congrats, Reds. There's Roof there as well. But there's the Ratama. Now back across Damien McKenzie. White to Summer Penny Fina, who's just been everywhere. He's done the chip in behind, and Anton Leonard-Brown chasing after him, managing to get a nice pickup, but stolen straight away by Jock Campbell. Brilliantly done. Somehow stay in the field of play. James O'Connor offload to Fraser McRyan, and it's become a counter-attack here for the Reds. Nice pass on the outside. And now, big run. McWright back on the inside. These two working in tandem at the moment. I believe it was him and Matt Greeley. Now, rough pass. It was floaty. And almost stolen by the Chiefs. It's going to be a knock-on from the Reds, and it's back in the hands of Bradley Slater. But a very good crack there. I'm off to the Chiefs game next week, says Novmum. Who have they got next week, Novmum? You may have to remind me. Is it a New Zealand side? Is it Hurricane? No, it might be Highlanders next week for them. I'm going to have to do a Google, though. My brain, it's been that much rugby. I've lost complete ability to remember what's happened the last little while. Moni Narawa, I remember that man scored a few tries. Oh, he slipped over. And now almost taken by McWright. Not allowed to go for it, though. There's Ratama again, goes across. Down round 13. Chiefs are going to be playing up against the Hurricanes. Did I say was that my first guess, or did I say the Blues and then the Highlanders? I want to say I said the Hurricanes first, but I probably didn't. The Cane says, no moment. Hi, says Liam. Welcome in. Anton Leonard-Brown back up to his feet. In fact, it's Sean Stevenson. Look for the offload. I'm not sure how that was going to go away. Going to be put into touch. Not happy. Sean Stevenson knew that was a great opportunity for the Chiefs, but it was a great counter-attack from the Reds as well. Greeley and Fraser McWright, two men with the headgear on, working together for the Reds, just ball on the inside and the outside, but then it was Damien McKenzie in the end who was able to get it. You said Hurricanes, says Nazi Williams. Although I did say about 3 other teams after as well, didn't I? And I hope the Drua and Moana keep improving, says Mr. Loom. I mean, we've already seen the Fiji and Drua drastically improve this year compared to how they went last year, which is absolutely fantastic to see because, they're in the top 8 at the moment. I'd like to think that they will continue being at the top. And also, can the Reds pull off a W? It's going to be a very tricky one. But at the moment, they're not looking too badly. They're just going to make sure they shut down that Chiefs attack as often as they can. I'd say if they win it, they've got to get probably 25 plus points. And that's relying on the Chiefs not getting that 25 as well. But if they want to, I think they're going to need a lot of points. It's Damien McKenzie kicking tonight. He certainly is 0 from 1 at the moment he is sitting on. And they deserve one, says Mr. Lerman. I'm 15. There's Liam in there. I am 23, a little bit older. Not much wiser, though, I wouldn't say. Cortez Ratama now goes off to McKenzie. Anton Leonard-Brown, nice step there. Now still driving forward, Anton Leonard-Brown. And that is someone who I hope can avoid injury getting into the World Cup in France in just a few months. Ratama going back to McKenzie. A little bit of obstruction there for the Chiefs. And the penalty goes the way of the Reds. Try shooters on fire. Says the 6. And maybe the Reds are having their turning point in this match. Getting over the nerve, says Ruth. Yeah, they have been inside of their 22 for quite a while, but they haven't conceded other than out wide. New here, who dis? Says Marco. Welcome in, Marco. I did enjoy your comment on the Chiefs one that I did with the Crusaders Blues game that I did with my mum. That was actually a bit of a throwback video from a while ago. I thought you guys might enjoy it. I enjoy when my mum's sitting there swearing at rugby. Always fun. Yeah, I've been keeping well. Johnny, hope you're enjoying the winter season for your building. Richie Asiata throws the ball in now, nicely taken. Now McWright goes to McDermott. There's no other mix in the team that I know of. They got any other mix? They got McDermott and McWright. No other mix. They've got a Greeley, who's a Mac, and Jock Campbell, which starts with C, but that's about all. And I was like, hello, Hamish, hope you're good. Good to see the Chiefs back in good form, but I still back the Blues, my favourite New Zealand team. Good morning, Hamish, says Joss. And there as well. Welcome in, Joss. Hope you are keeping well. Nice tackle there from Matt Greeley on Sean Stevenson. The ball stuck in the breakdown. There's going to be the advantage now to the Chiefs. Do you reckon The Rock will buy NRL Warriors? He said, or he did say, says Mr. Lim. I mean, if he did, it would be great, wouldn't it? Although we all know that even if The Rock was the buyer of the Warriors, it's not really the budget that they've got to worry about. It's the referees. Haha. That's a bit of a situation that's going on at the moment, isn't it? With one NZ CEO or something like that. I think I saw. And also, there's always a time in our lives, and then we have off days. The Chiefs will have their days when it matters the most, and I hope the Chiefs pull off a win. Here's Delaney. Oh, sorry, Caleb. A nice tackle again made on, it was the Rameka Poihapi. Now big run from Tupavai. Now I should mention that we haven't seen Josh Law return to the field since taking that head knock a little bit earlier on. So Manakai Selby Ricker is still out there. Big run down the wing from Samapini Finau. Tackled by Suliasi Vunivalu. Back across to Damian McKenzie. 25 metres out now. John Ryan. Dragged down. And where can I watch the game? Whereabouts are you in the Will Barnes place? Do let me know, because sometimes it does depend a little bit on whereabouts you are location-wise. Depends on what broadcasters there are. And good evening, Kiwi lads. What time do you think the seven starts, please? So the first game that we are covering of the sevens for the men's start at 10:45, but I believe the men's side starts at about 10 o'clock. The women's side starts at about 8 o'clock. So yeah, that first game that we are going to be doing is Ireland versus Samoa. That is at 10:45 New Zealand time. So that is actually halfway through the Drua versus Western Force game. So we're going to have a weird muddle up during that one. Hopefully it doesn't go too badly. Hope the Chiefs pull off the win. There's Caleb there, and winter's been great, mate. So I'm doing some indoor work. I hate getting wet. As soon as it starts spitting, I cool rained off home time. Fair enough. It's always one of those ones, though, when it's raining, it's always annoying when it comes to your tools and whatnot. Like when you want to cut something outside with a saw, but you can't because it's raining, so then you got to take it inside, and it's not quite the same. It's not supposed to be in there. It's just a hassle, isn't it? And Jets are very tough. Tackles will have to be accurate. Mac needs some stilettos. Come on, says Roof. And German bro, thanks, says King T. And heard one of the Wiggles looking to buy the West Tigers, says Nazi Williams. Which one? I can't even name all the Wiggles at the moment. That's really bad. No, I could actually. Never mind. Just had the nostalgia come back in. South Africa teams must play Super Rugby again. It will be nice to see them play Australia and New Zealand teams. There's Andre. Although they're doing all right in the URC, the Stormers have got themselves a semi-final opportunity. Only the one South African side making it that far this year, sadly. That's going to be the penalty to the Reds. Hands on the ground from the Chiefs. The penalty does go the way of the Reds. In New Zealand Barnes play, your best bet is actually Sky Sport Now if you don't have a Sky box. Other than that, though, it's very hard to find the games because a lot of the time you'll get a virus if you try and find them online. I almost dropped a speaker there. That would have been unfortunate. How are all the Wiggles then? Or who are all the Wiggles? I know the OG Wiggles, the original ones, the likes of Jeff. He always used to sleep. He was a smart man, Jeff. He knew what he was doing. Anthony, the blue one, of course. Then you got Murray, the red. And then the main fella, the yellow man himself, Greg. It was Greg, wasn't it? I think it was Greg. Jacobson make the Rugby World Cup team. He's got a good opportunity. That's the thing. The loose forward trio at the moment for the ABs is a little bit of a question mark. You're looking at someone like an Artie Savi. I'd say he's secured. Kiriwani, maybe. Oscar Tutu is probably a yes as well. Then you got Papa Lee, who I think they'll be taking. It depends on how many they want to take, really. It is on, or is it on Prime? Saturday's game was on a couple of weeks ago. I think it depends on the game. They might be showing Blues vs Crusaders tomorrow on Prime, but maybe not this game, unfortunately. And the Storm destroyed the Broncos last night. Amy says Spider Mech. Warriors, they're going to be playing. Who they play this week? I think they're playing tomorrow or the next day. I think it's tomorrow, isn't it? Fruit salad, yummy, yummy. Is Marco Vanapola? Huge fan of fruit salad. I know that they were singing about it. They sang about potatoes. I will get behind their potato song, Hot Potato. It was very good. No, bit of a banger. Tino Nana Satoru moving up to 25 meters out from the line now. But there's Ratama. Goes back across to Damien McKenzie. Big run from John Ryan. Dragged down by Connor Vest. Now McKenzie. Go on to the left. It's going to be a loose ball. Choo-choo, chugga-chugga. I remember going on a Wiggles ride all by myself when I was about 14 in Australia because no one else wanted to go on it. So I went around this Wiggles ride, did the loop as you do, and then I was like, you know what? We'll do it again. So I did it twice in a row, all by myself. Seemed like a good idea at the time. They play the Bulldogs at 8 New Zealand time. Oh, they playing tonight. And also be with their Warriors versus Dodds tonight soon, says Nazi. So we have to keep you updated with that one, of course. Hopefully the Warriors start finding that winning form. Again, it looks like we have got a bit of an injury stoppage here, so a bit of a drinks break here for the two sides while they do tend to Richie Asiata. Do you reckon there will be a lot of Chiefs playing or players playing for other countries this year? I mean, they've got... Who are their internationals? I know a lot of the fellas who are of Fijian descent have picked the All Blacks, the likes of someone... I mean, Peter Gustawakula, he picked the All Blacks. He's not playing in this game, though. Not in the starting lineup, anyway. 25 minutes through at the moment. Okay, the Chief says Lord Forth. Okay, if the client is a Swedish blonde, it's okay. Good luck. Says Ruth there. Wait, what did Marco say about a Swedish blonde? I'm doing a bathroom and the client is always looking over my shoulder. It actually pisses me off having them watch my every move. I can't go on my phone and much around. Oh, that's the thing. Sometimes you get that. I remember Dad, when he was doing a job a while ago, he actually had a nickname for a man. It was Shadow. Every time he turned around, the guy was there, just watching what he was doing. So, yeah, Shadow would come out and have a look every single day. Go, what you doing? What you doing now? He's just curious, making sure you're doing a good job, Johnny. Keeping production going well. Kick downfield from Gunu. Back across to Atena Nana Satoro. Currently 25 minutes through, and it's still 5-5. And this game, come on, Chiefs, you're boring me here, says Beds of Blaze and go the Reds. Who's at home? It is a Chiefs home game, but they are playing in Taranaki rather than FMG Stadium. That could be a little bit of a factor for the Kiwis. And also, fingers crossed for the Chiefs to win this game 13 and over, says King T. Well, they're going to have to speed up a little bit, although we know with the Chiefs, they've got that ability to score a lot of points in a hurry. Hamish, do you ever drink hot chocolate with coffee? It's a nice combination. I've actually never had coffee. I've had hot chocolate, though. If you get like a good hot chocolate, it's always nice. Who would Caleb Clark, or who would pick Caleb Clark for the Rugby World Cup? For me, no way. So who would you go as your, I guess, 2 or 3 left wingers instead? I assume you've got Lester Faina Nuku in there as one option. Sean Stevenson on the left wing, is that someone you go with the 6? And by the way, I've just started work 3 days ago. Says Petsa, what are you doing, Petty? Let us know. Hopefully you're enjoying it. And I'll say, hey, Hamish, up the Chiefs, says Daniel Cox there. Yeah, currently sitting 5-5. Very close. I can't stand when they watch you work. Feel like chucking the spade at them, says Nuzzy Williams. That might not go well, I don't think. And Shadow, yeah, I hate that. Yes, Ruth, blonde Swedish girl. Yep. Be wagging my rear end like a dog drooling over that and get fired. At least you wouldn't have to finish the job. Bonus. Kicked high. Oh, slap back by Vunivalu. A little bit of the NRL coming in there. Nice work from James O'Connor. Hasn't been too prominent at number 12 throughout this game. And the Chiefs are a second half team, says Daniel Cox. Yeah, so they've still got plenty of time left in this contest. I know that the Reds coming into this game were sitting $8.50 underdogs. I'm going to have a very quick look and see what they're sitting at now. Damian McKenzie must score. There's Gilbert. I mean, he's been in great form. Ryan is also quite fast. Says Roof nicely taken by that man, Damien McKenzie. Offloads to Cortez Aratama, who was not looking. Instead, he was looking at his back line. Wasn't expecting the offload from Damien McKenzie. So now the Reds with the advantage have got the ball in their hands. Kicked him behind by Jock Campbell. This might be a 50-22, is it? Or was it taken back? I think it might have been taken back. So the Chiefs will have themselves the line out in this scenario. So the Reds are $6 underdogs at the moment for this contest. So they've gone down a little bit, which is, I mean, that still seems like quite a big underdog. The Reds, they're a tough side to beat sometimes. Whether or not that is the case in this game, though, could be a different story. Nicely taken by Selby Rickett. A big straight run forward from Simon Parker. And Hurricanes is on prime tomorrow, 9 p.m. New Zealand time. Okay, so their game is actually taking place at 4:35 p.m. New Zealand time. So there's a little bit of a delay there. Come on, Ratama, says Caden. I hope the Chiefs lose. I'm a Crusaders fan, says Barnes Plays. That's the thing. The Chiefs, even if they lose all their games from here, I believe they've still almost secured a home final, which is very impressive. You can imagine it ain't fun with the man in the house looking at your every move. Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because you just feel like you might be doing something wrong, even if you're not. You just feel like am I doing this right? Even though I know what I'm doing, but do I do it like this or do I do it differently because he's watching? Do I try and make it look like I'm working harder than I am? That's always the question you got to ask. Another kick in behind from the Reds goes down to the 22. Chiefs at the moment going against them for the territory game. Come on, Crusaders, you've got this. A high says Jacob, welcome in. And Chiefs versus the Reds, says Philemoni in there. And then the second game that has taken place is going to be stolen by the Reds. Nicely done. Yeah, the next game is Fiji and Drua taking on the Force. That's a penalty for offside against the Reds. All of their backline offside. We will go like this. So yeah, $6 underdogs at the moment. And Chiefs all the way, says Jacob. Okay. Tate McDermott having a bit of a conversation there with Paul Williams. Oh, they're just getting a head check sorted out. Is he all right? Looks like he might be. Lawson Creighton, he hasn't had the best game so far today, and Chiefs is going to play in the final. And what do you watch the games on? I watch it on Sky Sport Now. So there's about a 30-second delay from when I watch it from when it's actually happening. But yeah, it's pretty good. Overall, Sky Sport Now. That's what we're on. Sky Sport 1 as well, I should mention. Damien Brad Weber have been great attackers this year, says Mr. Loom. And straight away, now that you've said that, that's actually a very good point. Damien McKenzie's playing, but Brad Weber is on the All Blacks leave, which means that they've got Cortez Aratama starting at 9. And I have to say, not as effective as what it would have been if it was Brad Weber and Damien McKenzie as the combo. And my workmate asked me yesterday if we can put 1,000 each for the Avies to win World Cup. I agreed, says Spider Mick. And I was like, come on, the G, says Jeanette. And also, surely you can tell us your password so we can watch, says Barnes. Unfortunately, Sky Sport Now only allow one person to watch at a time. So if I was to give you my password for you to watch, it would mean that I wouldn't be able to watch. But if you are streaming to, let's say, 102 people, maybe that's a good idea. Because then it's like, it works out well. And watch out for the Reds. They're bursting through the defense, says Ruth. I have to say, my lighting's very weird. If I go back here, I look like I'm like kind of not pale. And then I go here, and I just look like I've turned into a vampire. Which is kind of the case for this weekend because we are not going to be sleeping during the nighttime. We are going to be streaming a lot of games. Nice run from Luke Jacobson. In fact, no, sorry, that time Simon Parker. Out. Nice backline here. Damien McKenzie goes across to Amoni Narawa. Shut down early from Filippo Dalgunu. Now counter ruck there from the Reds' hands. Word down from James O'Connor, but it is allowed by Paul Williams. You should show the game. What is YouTube going to do? Well, they take you down. You get copyright strike, so that means that you can't stream for 90 days. You can't upload for, I believe it's a week. And then also Super Rugby could take legal action because we are having copyright infringement. So quite a bit could happen. I reckon the Reds will be happy even if this game is a draw, says Mr. Loom. I'll ask Dad for 500 and I'll pay 500, Says Spider Mick. Reds at the moment, their attack has been pretty solid throughout this game. Yeah. Yeah, if it was easy and there weren't consequences, we would 100% have us in a little tiny box down the bottom corner. We'd be sitting here like this, just like that. We'd be way down here and the game would be here and we'd be all good. We'd be able to talk about it. But then, of course, it would be, hey, he should shush because we're trying to watch the game. But he keeps talking. And then that would be the other thing. I feel like the only way people would be purely happy is if I wasn't here. $2 from Mr. Lachlan. Thank you very much, mate. Usually appreciate it. 47-12 is the prediction. That one is going to be scrum penalty against the Reds. I think that was Ravai whose legs went out from underneath him. And who won the Crusaders Blues match? It was tomorrow. It hasn't actually taken place yet. He's going to put on 6 tries and run away with it. There's Mr. Lachlan. And any idea why this game is being played in New Plymouth? I think it's just to try and get a new crowd for the Chiefs. I don't think there's anything on at FMG Stadium that I know of, unless where are the Warriors playing, actually? That might be the only other thing. Maybe the Warriors are playing at FMG Stadium. No, they're away from home. Okay, so I'm not sure. Not sure what's happening. Who have you got your eye on for player of the match at the minute? I would say someone like a Summer Penny Finau has been pretty impressive throughout this first 34 minutes. He's been out on the wing. He's been working hard on the breakdown. He's got the ball at the moment. Another few meters made post-contact for Summer Penny Finau. Turnover is good, though, in the breakdown, and the Reds do end up with the ball back into the pocket. And Suliasi Vunivalu does have to try and look for touch, and he does. Great kick downfield. Marinara thought about taking it quickly, and he will not. 10 plus years ago, James O'Connor would have been at the pub drowning himself in nose beers, says Marco Vanapola. And I'm assuming good defense by both teams. Yeah, both sides have been relatively solid, not really allowing too many line breaks for the first 34. Does anyone watch the Warriors? They were when they were winning. Now that they've started losing again, a lot of people sold their Warriors kit and they have now gone back to watching other sports. Have you listened to Wet, 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 the 80s UK group? Play good music, Hamish? I have not, no. Haven't heard of them, unfortunately. And good luck, Spider. That's big bet. All Blacks get better do the business, says Ruth. And who won the Blues' Crusaders game? Hasn't taken place yet, unless you're talking of mine and George's or mine and my mum's that we uploaded a little bit earlier on. Great counter-ruck there from the Reds, from Fraser McBride. Now James O'Connor down the wing. Going to get caught by Manakai Selby Ricker, but finds the ball on the inside. Jock Campbell. Desperation defense from Ramika Poye Tippett. Takes him down 5 meters out from the line here. The Chiefs under pressure once again. Man, my boy looking fresh, baby, says the snooze. Big shot on Ravai's kneecaps. Counter ruck from the Chiefs. The ball was out. Tupavai gets it back now for the boys from Waikato, who are not really playing at FMG Stadium today. They're at a different location. Taranaki now. Damien McKenzie goes off to Summer Penny Finau inside ball. Anton Leonard-Brown knocks it on and now just dove all over the breakdown. Should have been a penalty against him, but instead it's just going to be a knock-on advantage. Now ball on the outside. Goes to Greeley, 22 meters out. Chiefs under pressure here. Damien McKenzie forever. There's Gilbert there. Now Connor Vest taken down 25 meters out. Watched breakdown this week. I don't think I watched this week's breakdown, but we were at a pub. Me, George, Daniel, and Daniel's girlfriend. We actually all went out for a meal on about Sunday last week. So I'm not sure if that was the newest breakdown or if it was an old one that they were showing. But yeah, we watched that one out of the corner of the eye while out for tea. Life goes across now on the outside. Ball is loose. Denai Satora. This is where the Chiefs can be so dangerous. The ball just sits up for him. Got Stevenson with him. Doesn't need him though. And Denai Satora scores his second try of the match. Losing Satyrs tomorrow at the Satyrs backyard. And Razor's going to have struggle to find out how to find an All Blacks captain. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think it's Sam Cane. Sam Whitelock, I don't know whether or not he wants to step up and say, yep, I'll do it. He probably would if he had to, but I don't know if he would consider himself as the first choice. Co-captains of Bowden Barrett, Brodie Retallick perhaps could be another option like they did. Savia, if they don't want to have to deal with the backlash of that one game where he went blah to one of the opposition players. They've got quite a few choices, don't they? Prediction as well, Mr. Lachlan. Yeah, the Chiefs getting their second try of the contest. It was just kicked forward from a Tino Satora, and then the ball just set up the way that he needed it to. And yeah, Nanai says Kane in there, and the Mighty Chiefs says Mr. Loom there as well. It would have been a hard run as well. That was about 70 metres he had to go for that one. And then I looking to have a hat trick. Says Ed. D-Mac, get moving. Come on, try time. Says Ruth. Now 37 and a half minutes. 12 points to the Chiefs, 5 for the Reds. Oh. Oh. Whole front row change there for the Reds. Can you play the commentary? I cannot, because even copyright exists for the sound as well. So it's one of those ones that you might be able to find like a radio commentary somewhere. I'm not sure where you would find it, but there might be one out there in terms of on the actual radio to be able to listen to the commentary of these actual commentators. But yeah, other than that, YouTube still take it down. Adi Savia says Daniel. I was saying, then I says Gilbert with the fire emoji. Yeah, he's been on fire throughout the early stages of this one. And also the other week, you are up. The land is solid. There's this news now nicely taken by Lawson Crichton. Isn't that the greatest game as of yet, but we'll be hoping to improve throughout the second half. Now Sean Stevenson kicks it high. Didn't quite get as much on it as he would have liked, but it's going to be about 38 metres out now, and the Reds will have themselves another line-out. Where's Hamilton in the North Island, says Ruth. Certainly is. So Hamilton, it's hard to describe, maybe about 1/3 of the way up the North Island, if that makes sense. Oh, that was a big dive, and that's going to be the penalty to the Reds. You cannot go in like that, Simon Parker. And Blue's going to win, I reckon. It's Akira's 100th game too, which is a nice boost for the boys, or for the boys. And also, this is better commentary. It's unbiased, says Joe Webby in there. Do try my best. And looking sharp, King says, Quiz, thank you very much. This is the shortest that my hair has been in a very long time. Probably since about 2019. Who do you support? I'm pretty unbiased. I'm born in Canterbury, but then I've moved down south, so I'm kind of halfway in between Highlanders and Crusaders territory. So it's pretty easy to be unbiased for all the New Zealand sides. And great try, Chiefs. Yay, says Ruth, and the score is tight, says Gilbert. Hamilton is 2 hours from Auckland, I think, says Ruth. Oh, sorry, that was Ed. Now it's going to be nicely taken. And she scored a second try a good few minutes ago, says Brian. Yeah, the scoreboard's gone to sleep, hasn't it? It's actually only at 32 minutes. Now 3 seconds remaining. Starting to creep just that little bit further forward. Be told to use it once. McDermott goes round the side, scores the try, and the Reds are back in the contest. And that's how you do it. It was pretty much straight afterwards. Reds have been able to score up the Chicha, says Quiz. And there, great try for the Chiefs. Yay. McDermott scores his 3rd of the season. I think we're going to be going into halftime 12-12 in this game. And great effort from the Reds, or good effort from the Reds, says the Flying Pan Man and Sam Cane. No more tonight, or no more late nights. You focus, buddy. Well, that's the thing. Sam Cane and Brad Weber both away for the All Blacks. Pretty much compulsory leave, I guess you could call it. Blues rest few boys against the Moana. So the Satyrs beware tomorrow. And who saw that coming? Says Ed. Very good job from the Reds. One moment. We will go like this and like this. Here we go. And also, what is the score now? It is sitting 12-12. So at halftime in this contest. Can't split the two sides. And do you think the Drua could upset any of the top 4 in the quarterfinals? To be honest, if the Fijian Drua play their unpredictable, passionate rugby, I think they can beat any side on any given day. And I know that that's weird to say, because some people would be like, but they've only got like 3 wins this season. But 2 of their wins have been up against the Crusaders and the Hurricanes. And at the moment, I know that the Hurricanes are in the top 4. I think that the Crusaders are just outside, if I'm not wrong. Oh, no, Crusaders in the top 4. Hurricanes just dropped out. So they've beaten both of those 2 sides. They almost beat the Brumbies until the referee had something to say about it. And then they've got themselves two other wins against other sides. Moana Pacifica being one. And Hamish, what's up, buddy? Welcome in, coding. Hope you are doing well. Currently halftime in this contest, and have the draw been winning away from home. Says Pruck, I believe they've got one away win. Fiji and draw at home beat the Hurricanes. Fiji and draw at home lost to the Blues. They lost to the Chiefs. They lost to the Brumbies. They won against the Rebels at home. They must just have one more win somewhere along the lines. They only just lost to the Reds. Beat the Crusaders at home. Won against Moana. Their only game that they've won away from home is up against Moana Pacifica, and they actually play them next week as well, I believe it is. Or the week after, sorry. Will be Moana Pacifica versus the Fijian draw. Thanks for the first half. Thanks for the first half update, bro. Peace, says Gil. We will see you later on. And they could if they play in Fiji, I think, says Ed. Reds are not too bad at the moment, getting more daring. There's Roof. And Fiji draw at home looks like a monumental task. The heat and the darkness, every direction you look, says Marco. Well, they're certainly taking some sides into deep water, which is great to see. And draw have a good home run or good run home, says the Flying Pan Man. Rate both teams' performances and highlights of the first half. I would say highlight of the first half, even though it didn't lead to a try, was when the Reds had that counter attack from Fraser McRae and Matt Greeley. Those two did very well throughout that moment, but then also a very good try for Etena Nanasatora. The second one I thought was the better of the two. Simon Penny Finau's probably been the best in that first half as well out of any player out there on the field. And Reds, well, hit him back, ding-dong battle, says Ruth. There as well. So I should mention we have got a game coming just around the corner. It will be the Fijian draw versus the Western Force. The plan for that live stream is to do that game up until about 10 or 20 minutes into the second half. Then we'll be transferring over to the match between Samoa and Ireland for the sevens, but still updating on what's happening in that Fijian draw game. And then I believe if the timing's right, I can then pop back to the Fijian draw game for the final moments of that contest. It's going to be a weird one. But pretty much I was going to have someone covering one of the live streams while I did the other. Now it's just me, and I've got to try and work out how to do two streams at once. And Rosa red, Spates are blue, flowers are expensive, so I got a 12 box for you. That's very romantic around Valentine's Day, isn't it? Players to watch from both teams later on, says Ed. I mean, for the Fijian draw, someone like a Roni Sal, he's been going very well. They've got some great players, the Fijian draw. It's actually hard to pick only one. Frank Lamani, another player I think will be very crucial in their game up against the Western Force. Western Force, they've got their leading try scorer, whose name, of course, has slightly left my brain at the moment, but he's sitting there on about 8 tries throughout the season. Also, they got Chase Tiatia in their lineup, who's the best pick for the Aussie teams here. Well, the best pick of the Aussie teams. I mean, the Brumbies are always going to be solid. Reds are one of those sides that when they get it right, they can beat good sides, but it's just when they get it wrong, it normally costs them quite drastically. Like at the moment, it's extremely surprising that the Reds find themselves only with 4 wins with the way that they've played in some of their best performances. It just seems to be getting that last bit over the line that they have been struggling with. What are both teams lacking and need to improve in the second half? So I would say the Reds are probably lacking just that little bit of cover defense. The stage they've been letting them get in behind just a little bit too easily, the Chiefs, but that is something that the Chiefs have done throughout this whole season, and they've done effectively. Whereas for the Chiefs, I'd say one thing that they need to do just a little bit better is not rush. If they just go phase after phase, they will eventually break through, but it seems like they want to try and do everything in 5 phases or less. That could cost them. I'm currently sick. I'm drinking beer and watching movies, so I'm happy. Plus, I'm going to cook some chips. I bloody love chips. I haven't had any. Oh, no, I did have chips today. Actually, that's a lie. After I got my haircut, pretty much me, my mum, and George all went up the road because we were looking at other stuff such as mini fridges and whatnot. So George was outside of the barber shop for a while, and then he decided he'd walk all the way to Burger King because I was going to be a little while. So walked to Burger King. I went with the car, got some chips from Burger King, which is where the chips come into the equation. And then we went and picked up my mum after her trim, and then pretty much headed home. Went to the grocery shop here, and then now I'm here. Busy day. And the Aussie team in the top four, Hammy. Yes, the Brumbies currently sitting in second, ahead of the Blues, Crusaders, Hurricanes, and also the Highlanders of the New Zealand sides. And known fact, Padza, beer cleans the toxins out. You'll be fine tomorrow. And again, Stevens again. Chiefs need to up a gear. Where's Rico Gear? Says Ruth. He's about, isn't he? Where's he ended up at the moment, Rico Gear? He's coaching someone, I believe. Rico Gear. I think Jose was playing a game recently, wasn't he? Rico, specialist wing. What's he up to at the moment? Post rugby career. What we got on Rico? Post rugby. He married an Australian. Can't hold that against him. Okay. That's about all it says. He just married an Australian. And he was on season 2 of Match Fit. There you go. I swear he was in some sort of coaching role. Or he was working alongside some rugby team recently, or maybe doing an interview about rugby. And Bears cheers is the quick recovery Padza, says Ruth in there as well. But now only the one try could make the difference in the second half. Just looking at some of these lineouts. Richie Asiata, the lineout normally is very successful for the Reds, but it has been stolen a couple of times in this contest. And also Jose was coaching the east side, wasn't he? I think so. Because him and Nonu played a game for them, didn't they? Way back. Because they were struggling their side. They hadn't won a game in so long. And then Nonu, he rode in on a horse. They won the game. Jose played as well off the bench. And then Nonu, I mean, maybe they told him he wasn't allowed to take his horse every game because he eventually stopped playing for them. And I don't know what he's doing now. He's probably chilling somewhere, Nonu. He'll find something to do, I'm sure. And I've had to stop my chemo. My body reacted to it, looking to surgery in the next month or so. So hopefully that goes quickly for you. I know that the health system sometimes can take a very long time to get things organised, but hopefully it is a nice, speedy appointment that you get within the next little while. Jose Gear coached East Coast. They had Martin Nonu in it, WTF. Yeah, there was like a documentary on it, I think. I think my mum watched it. Maybe she's got Bluetooth headphones on. She bloody loves the things. Pretty much, she can have the headphones on, and she's watching TV behind me through the screen. So she's there watching her show with the headphones on, and then I'm here doing a live stream. It's actually quite fancy. Here she is. She's taken the headphones off. You watched a documentary with Nonu and Jose with the East Coast team, didn't you? Do you remember what it was called? Might just be called East Coast Rugby, ladies and gentlemen. She's not sure. The legend. On TVNZ on demand. There you go. She knows her stuff. Although she's now just changed it to TV3, so maybe not. One of them. And your parents not gone to Fiji? Not yet. They're still here for another week or so, and then I get to run havoc around the house. I'll be able to strip down to nothing and just run up and down the hallway. Yeah, we got no curtains in one of the rooms at the moment, so that would go badly. You know, they're double glazed, so it might be slightly East Coast Rising. There you go. She's found it. She's on the research. TVNZ on demand. And in 2019, Nonu bumped off Antonina Brown. He probably whispered to him, "You're never going to be a great AB centre like me, boy." There's Marco. Although one thing that people said made Nonu such a good centre was the brain on his outside, Conrad Smith. You know, those two working in tandem was always very good. And I think Conrad, some people underrated how much he helped Nonu play and how much he helped set him up as well. Like Conrad Smith, good thinking man. What's he up to at the moment? He played in that All Blacks game that they had up against Spain, I think it was, a little while ago. And yeah, party at yours, says Nazi Williams. Exactly right. I'll invite all 2 of my friends that I know in real life, and we will have a party. Although they're away for a while, so that would be a lot of partying. I'll probably just, to be honest, it will just be a great opportunity to be able to film a whole heap of videos. Like we're talking the time that they're away, if I can film like 30 videos of some sort, whether that is gaming, rugby related, or anything else, other projects, I'll be happy. 10 whiskies, 10 gins. You'll be feeling like Superman, says Marco. Whiskey is also great and some gin, not together. There's everything out, says Ruth. And were they Spanish descent, Rico and Jose? Not sure. Rico and Jose Gear, did they have Spanish descent? I had the tab open and now it's gone. Greetings, Marco V. And my your son. Enjoy his baptism in the great game, says Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. But this has been a very good first half of rugby. 12 all. I feel like it's been one of those games that hasn't had too many slow moments in it. We haven't seen a huge amount of scrums. I think we've seen like maybe 2 if we're lucky. So not a huge amount of drop balls, and just everyone is trying to get through. It's just the fact that they haven't really been able to as of yet. Other than Dino Nanasatoro and then also McDermott near the end and the number 1. I'm trying to get that nice lighting. That lighting's a lot better. But as soon as I go here, I turn to very pale, not ideal. Just like when I go outside, very pale. And White Bowden was so good, he didn't have to worry too much with Nonu and Smith outside him, says Joe Webby. And they don't age those blokes, says Nuzzy Williams. Yeah, some guys, like, you look at someone like a Conrad Smith, he can kind of come into a game like that All Blacks 15 or ex-All Blacks 15 taking on the Spanish. And he still did all right. You know, like, he wasn't too bad. I feel like that's the thing. When you've got that vision, that's one of the things that older players can use heavily to their advantage. You may not have the speed of the young guys. You may not be as strong as you used to be. But if you can spot gaps and work out how to get your teammates through those gaps, where you find success. Tell your son to keep his eyes on the ball at all times. There's Ruth in there as well. This is important. I think there's local rugby tomorrow, and I'm kind of keen to go watch it. Although the only problem I've got is it's at a time when I should be sleeping. But like, there's a few local boys in there. I don't think there's anyone that any of you fellas would know, mainly because they're from here. Who we got? We got, oh no, you might know one of them, Theo Davidson, sorry, and Miles Medlicott. They're both in the South Canterbury rugby side. So they're playing for the seniors at 2:45. Senior B are playing at 1 p.m. A few of the boys that I went to school with are playing in that game. Doug Hallett and Smith, superheroes. There's Ruth there. Just the 2 tries being scored, Blake and McDermott. And then McKenzie getting the conversion, one of them for the Chiefs. The 2 tries scored by Eteno Nanasatoro. My son didn't play rugby last year. He wanted to play soccer instead. Dropped an 8 when he said that, says Marco. Although, as long as he's happy, is he playing this year, Marco, I assume? One of the 2. Like, yeah. I mean, it's not too bad. The younger age groups you can get away with playing here. Like, if he wants to be a goalkeeper, you're still doing as much diving. It's just you're taking less head knocks. That's good. It must be in the top 5 AB centre pairings all time. Conrad, Nonu and Conrad. Yeah, and then there was also, what was the old school one? Oh, what's his face? Not Bruce. Was it Bunce? No. Who was the midfield combo way back in the day? Bunce and Little. There we go. Gee, she's a brain box, isn't she? You know all the things, don't you? No? Any thoughts on what has improved the Chiefs this year? I think it's just working as a team. And it sounds cliche and it sounds like, oh, but they're not under 5s. Like, they should know how to work as a team. But sometimes team chemistry can get you a long way. And at this stage, like, that combination of Weber and McKenzie has been phenomenal. I think the All Blacks should look at it and maybe go, could be an option. Because we've seen what's happened in this game. Nothing against Cortez Aratama. I know a lot of people are very fond of him as a player. He's a great player. But it hasn't gelled as well in this game as it normally does for the Chiefs. And as we can see by the scoreboard, that could be something that could cost them. And great, very equal Reds making Chiefs look average now. Says Roof, my baptism was in bare feet, stiff arms. And Ohakuni snow. Sounds a bit cold. Definitely bare feet on the snow. That would give you frostbite, wouldn't it? Now kicked off by the Chiefs. Damien McKenzie to get us back underway for the second half of this contest. Nicely taken by Felipe Delgunu. Or rushing up there, just onside Tupapai. Masana's under 35 kg team, which is great. The rugby league side doesn't have weight limits, so 35 kg boys will be playing with adult size 100 kg 8-year-old Tongan kids. OMFG, no way. So how long does he get to stay in that 35 kg group? Is there an age restriction on that, or is it just the case? And also, shout out to the newest subscriber, Toby. He's a bat boy. A bat boy. What does a bat boy mean? I feel like I'm not hip, but shout out to you, Toby, if you are watching. I see Matt's the one commenting, but shout out, Toby. I'm going to be thrown in here from Bradley Slater. He's lost the headband. Must have been stolen. Oh, that's dropped by Simon Parker. It's gone backwards, though. Now Jacobson across to Cortez Aratama. Tina Nanasatoran moves to 40 metres out for the Chiefs. Oh, penalty goes the way of the Reds. Better than my son. He opted for netball, says Nazi Williams. I wonder how much does a professional New Zealand netball male get paid? Is it like good money? New Zealand male netball salary. Do they get a fair amount? So the Silver Ferns players get 60 to 80k. New Zealand players can receive $2,000 a week. Oh, okay, but they have a short competition, so they can make 16 grand for 8 weeks, apparently. I was going to say, if they only have to, they get paid $2,000 a week, even when they're not playing, they're making more than the ladies. Now, nice run from Siruru, 10 metres out from the line, take McDermott, going off to the left-hand side, it's going to be more. Nice run. It's driven sideways, though, by Simon Parker. That's not a lot, says Knob Mum. I guess, yeah, netball-wise, I'd say that's probably decent. Rugby-wise, some of these guys take a lot of big hits for not a lot of money. Not sure, mate. Never talked to him again. Oh, jeez. It got dark, didn't it? Good morning from London, England, currently away. Some family this weekend. There's Harry. What is the score now? Currently 12-12. And this one. Now ball still there for the Reds. Siruru tries to spin. Oh, someone took a head knock there. He's holding his face. I think that was old mate number 17. Of course, the name I should mention is not old mate. Now Ngora getting close again. 3 metres out from the line. Nice little pop pass up to Connor Vest. Driven over, but he's on his back. And is it stuck? No, they have to let it go. Just like Elsa from Frozen said. Now it's going to be a nice wide pass for the Reds. Jock Campbell scores. And they take the lead for the first time in this match. So has the Chiefs got any reserves on? They have made one change, which was Josh Lord went off for an HIA. Coming on the field for him was Matakai Selby Rickett. As Anton Leonard Brown playing, he certainly is. He is playing at number 13 for this contest. But great work from the Reds. Just repeated phases just out from the try line and then round the side. Connor Vest got extremely close. Managed to turn him over on his back, though. And then out to the right-hand side, James O'Connor, skip pass, good pickup from Jock Campbell. 17 points to 12 in favour of the Reds now. My side of sense tell me that the Blues will drown the Satyrs tomorrow in their backyard. Rugby players deserve more money because it's so physical sport, put the body on the line. There's coding in soccer, basketball, cricket. And I think rugby and league are below those. When they say rugby is New Zealand's national sport, it's full of, it might have been 30 years ago, but it sure isn't now. Yeah, it's struggled at the moment, grassroots rugby. That's missed. Out to the left-hand side. That might be quite a crucial one missed. That was actually Liner who took on that kick. But something that's interesting, like the local team, it's probably not the best example because we are such a small town, so it makes it trickier. But our rugby sides, you used to have all the kids' grades, then you'd have under 14 and a half, under 16s, under 18s, senior B, seniors. Now they've got senior B. They might have an under 14 and a half side. All the other players older than that are playing senior B rugby, and even then they're struggling to get 23 players. And then a lot of those senior B players then go onto the bench to play for the seniors afterwards because the seniors don't even have a team. So, yeah, numbers have gone down drastically in rugby union here in New Zealand, but it's that question of how do you fix that? How do you convince a kid when they're watching kids get absolutely smashed by bigger, stronger players? How do you say, you go out there, you give it a go? So yeah, you go, young Timmy, and Timmy goes and gets smashed by a big Tongan forward. And then Timmy does not remember the game or anything ever again. Now it's going to be 35 metres out from the line for the Chiefs. That got dark as well. Sama Penifei now. But there's a Ratama not rolling away. That Ngora going to be the penalised player, ducking under that one. Paul Williams does well. Now Moni Narawa going off to the side, tries to find the offload to Anton Leonard-Brown, and it goes down again. Will you see rugby survive in New Zealand in the coming 10 years? Yes, but no, if that makes sense, which it doesn't, so I will elaborate. If New Zealand win the next World Cup, numbers will go up. If New Zealand do terribly in the next World Cup, numbers will continue to decline just that little bit more. Not to the point where it's a case of survival or not, but yeah, I think if New Zealand do well and the All Blacks play well, that's when you get the young people who are watching the TV when they're about 6 or 7 and going, I want to do what they're doing. But if they're losing games, they don't raise that World Cup trophy, people go, eh. Like I'm having fun playing basketball with my mates, I'll just do that. Say hi to my mum, brother. Hi to your mum, or you want me to say hi from you to my mum? My mum's there with her headphones on. I can wave to her if you like, unless you want me to say hi to Justin's mum. Hello, Justin's mum. We just won the World Cup last year, says Stone Cold. That is true. Female numbers probably going up in the rugby union side of things. And good work, Reds. Keep going. Good evening, the Kiwi lads. Nice. It's the Kia Amish, says Nate. Welcome in, mate. You are doing very well indeed. The Reds only have conceded this penalty, so it means that Damian McKenzie looking to add 3 points. As Wayne Smith says, rugby union is boring. We're all watching the referee's right arm, not the ball and the players, says Dinesh there. Fair point. I mean, we see a lot of penalties throughout these games of rugby. McKenzie successful with the conversion, and that will now make the score 17 points to 13. Can't believe the Reds are currently winning. Fair play. Says Rugby Itch there. Yep, 2-point lead. The moment they have got themselves. You excited for the Blues game tomorrow, Rugby Itch? I'm sure you are. Buzzing ear to ear. Smiling ear to ear is the saying, not buzzing. If you've got buzzing ear to ear, you've probably got some sort of thing, either a bee stuck in your ear, and maybe that's something that needs medical attention. Are you doing the sevens? This how much one? I am doing the sevens. At this stage, I've only got one scheduled, but we're scheduling another 3 or 4 after this live stream. That's the plan anyway, so we will be doing that. A few more coming up on the channel, but that is going to be a nice ruck there from the Chiefs. 15 points to 17 at the moment. The Reds do still have themselves the lead. They come in as $2.80 underdogs at the moment in this contest. Now, like I mentioned, they started as $8.50 underdogs in this match. Jock Campbell now on the halfway line. Looking to find a gap in the Chiefs defence, which there haven't been a huge amount of throughout these ones. Coding, I doubt it. The hive of rugby culture at grassroots is now riddled with health and safety. To be honest, not excited for the game tomorrow. Blues Crusaders normally spikes my blood pressure. That is true. It is normally a nervous watch, isn't it? If you are a supporter of either side. I believe George is going to be joining us for that stream, so he will be nervous. I'm sure he will be very vocal if the Crusaders are not playing well. Come on, the Chiefs, don't lose this one. Now, currently, the Reds have got themselves possession again. Now, James O'Connor, now a nice wide pass to Filippo Dalgunu. Now, I know we're 30 minutes away, but I do just want to mention, I think it's heavily beneficial. This might be an unpopular opinion. I think it's heavily beneficial that if the Chiefs do end up losing a game this season, hear me out, before everyone attacks in the comments, getting ready like vultures. But if, that's a knock on from Ngor. If the Chiefs lose their winning streak, I think it's beneficial that it's an Australian team that ends it. Unpopular opinion, probably. That one's going to be kicked in the Dutch by Damian McKenzie. I just feel like it gives them something to say. Like, people were saying we're not in contention, but look what we were able to do. You know? I see cricket also going in the same direction in New Zealand as players become franchise cricket over playing for the national team. CS coding. Well, it's a perfect example of money talks. At the end of the day, if you're getting offered, let's say, as an example, 100,000 to play for your country, I don't know if that's the numbers, or you're getting paid 500,000 to go off and play in an overseas country. You're going to go with the 500,000. Definitely if you are in that stage of your career where you feel that it can financially grow you to the next step after that as well. Maybe you get a $700,000 contract for the next one. And while the money's there, you're going to take it. That's the thing. Because as a run away with it, yeah, Richie Mo'unga, fantastic. Nicely done by Sama Penny Finau. A little bit of a counter-ruck there from Connor Vest. Reds still under a lot of pressure. That will be a knock-on, though, from the Chiefs. And Siru Uru with the counter-attack. Look for the offload. That was tackling without the ball there, Fraser McWright. Probably lucky that the Chiefs player was not penalised. And he's letting him know about it. Now he's saying, oi, tackle me when I had the ball, you numpty. That's going to be now 30 minutes left in this contest. And Hammy, don't shy from expressing your opinion, says Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. And also, okay, I will ask, do you want it to end? Says Brandon there. And Anton Leonard Brown fades on the big stage. Put Proctor in there, my honest opinion, says Mumbo Jumbo. Yeah, to be honest, like I can see a few other options as number 13 that they could go with. Even if I know that it's an unpopular opinion, I mean, Enor hasn't been bad. Yes, normally when he puts on the AB's jersey, he's had a couple rough runs, but at the moment off this season, he's all right. No, nice run from Tom Liner. Moves up to 35 metres out from the line here, the Reds. Nice ball on the outside from McDermott. Now Jock Campbell with the big fend. He's knocked the ball on again, though. So the Chiefs with Sean Stevenson will now be in possession. Takes it to ground just outside of his 22. I say if it itches, scratch it, baby. Come on, the Chiefs lagging behind. There's Roof. Now Summer Penny Finau. Had a fantastic game so far, that man. AB's now in a turnstile for players to go. Go the Reds, go, says Caminelli. As well. Is Caminelli Rasaku playing for Fiji? Caminelli Rasaku, he's not. Mainly because I think he's a union player now, isn't he? He's actually overseas. I think I asked that one other time. You had time for Anton Leonard Brown to search for a club overseas. He's blocking other players now. Average at best, sadly. And, you know, I want to say in some regards it's not his fault. Like, the amount of injuries that man has been plagued with. Like, even when he was trying to get to his 100th game of Chiefs rugby, he got to about 98, got injured. 99 came back after a long injury stint, got injured. And then now he's just come back from another injury. And unfortunately, being injured for so long, as much as you want to keep your match fitness, it disappears for a bit. Come on, the Chiefs play your usual game. And it's his injuries catching up with him. Yeah, it is. And it's a shame because had he not had so many injuries, like someone who I think has bounced back pretty well from injury at this stage, unless he's injured again, is Jack Goodhue. He might be injured again, though. But I thought back from his last injury, he was looking extremely strong. He was looking quick. The injury he came back before that, he did look a little bit slower. And, yeah, it just seems to depend on how the recovery went. Depends on whether the player looks better when they get back. And now Matt Fazer throws the ball in nicely. Oh, that's going to be an advantage to the Reds. Gone a little bit too early there, so the rolling maul is on. Faisler now breaking through one tackle. It was the tackle of Luke Jacobson. Now 15 metres out for the line. Connor Vest charging hard. This is a great opportunity for the Reds to get themselves just that little bit more of a lead. How many minutes left, bro? Says Caminelli. At the moment, we have got another 28 minutes remaining in this contest, so still a little way to go. They are getting closer. Okay, they still have the advantage. 10 metres out now. Quick hands from Suliasi Vunivalu. Goes to Filippo Dalgunu, and they'll go back for the penalty. The question, should England have retained Eddie the Eagle? Mumbo Jumbo. Some of his island to an overlap with Super Rugby. It does. And we're not sure what we're going to do about that yet. I was hoping to have a guest for one of those live streams. At this stage, I've got to work out how to do two at once, which I think is going to be more than likely switching over to the sevens while having the scoreboard still on for Fiji and Draw versus Western Force, and then going back afterwards for the final kind of 10 or so minutes of that contest. Hopefully, fingers crossed. That's the plan anyway. I'm not too sure whether or not it will work out. If the Chiefs lost tonight, I said if it's the start of going downhill, I hope they win. Says Buttermick. Maybe his age too. Injuries, the older your body gets, takes too much beating. Or they've gone for the line out here. The Reds going for the doctor rather than taking it on the 3 and being 5 points ahead. They've said 7 will do us just nicely, but it's going to be a tough line out. We've seen so far that the Chiefs have been pretty decent when it comes to the rolling maul defense, but they've managed to get quite a few tries off line outs, the Reds. Nicely taken there. Once again, it's going to be another advantage to the Reds due to the Chiefs just committing that little bit early. James O'Connor hits the ball up 10 metres out. Tom Liner with the cross kick. Matt Greeley tries to guide for it, but he doesn't quite get up high enough. It was a bit long. And now they'll go back for another penalty. I think England should have held on to the Eddie Brave decision from the RFU to sack him so close to the World Cup. I hope Eddie Jones beats England at the World Cup, so he gets the last laugh. He always does, mate. Here's Marco. Also, what about if you ask Tony? Or is he on? He is on holiday at the moment. He is still away. He is unavailable for that one. It's a little bit later on at night as well, 10:45. Some parents, they will be sleeping. George, he's going to be at his house. He's starting his job tomorrow, doing a bit of yamming. Now, Red's going to be throwing this ball again. So that is the second time that we've seen a pre-engage in the lineup. That is a lot better timing for the Chiefs. Although now, break it off the side, very close to the line. About half an inch and trying to get over the ball here, the Chiefs. They haven't been able to. Ball available at the back now for the Reds. Looks like it's going to be Ungor, who has a crack. There was a man lying there offside. I think that's going to have to be the try. Yes, it is. And the try for Zane Ungor, the second front rower for the Reds to score himself a try. And they've got the lead now back that little bit more. It is going to be a 7-point lead now. 22 points to 15. D-Mac for the ABs. There's Ella Hill there. And yeah, I think he's going to be in there somewhere. It's that big question of, is he going to be the starting option, or do they go with him maybe off the bench? And man, my eldest girl was talking forever about her rugby training. How's the game so far, Hemi? Who's sharp? Who do you see taking the W? I mean, the Reds are looking good. I'll be honest, they are looking very solid in this game. And I think this is going to be the toughest test for the Chiefs up till this date. And they actually now come in as underdogs, the Chiefs. $2.30 for one of the first times throughout the Super Rugby Pacific season. They find themselves behind by more than 7 if this kick goes over. The Chiefs says Jeanette and Reds W says alliteration. And the Chiefs for the win, says Ella. Now 24 minutes remaining. Tom Liner, he missed his first kick. And he's missed his second. That is very costly there. And that makes it actually $1.90 for the Reds, $2 for the Chiefs, thinking it's going to be quite close. And just listening in, commentary on fire, says this news. It's going to be a nervous game. The first try of his career, Zane Ungor, and what a game to score it in up against the top of the table side. Man, can't it be broken? Green Marco felt he got attached to his players, as every good school teacher does. It's how to bring the best out of the players, methinks. Now, Dalgunu tackled on the 22. In fact, sorry, it was Suliasi Vunivalu. I'm so used to seeing Dalgunu out on that right wing. I think I've said that wrong about 3 times, as Dalgunu actually in the midfield. Now, Zane Ungor stands next to the breakdown while Tate McDermott fires the ball back. Now I'm nervous. Says no, mum. Good nervous, though, isn't it? It's a nervous that you feel like your Chiefs are still going to have plenty left in their gas tank. That's almost stolen. No, it's a penalty to the Chiefs. Is this the going backward for the Chiefs? I would say not over yet. Because now they have the penalty and they will be able to kick this one for the corner and could end up sitting back on 22-22. Fraser McWright getting that one wrong. Tries, please, Chiefs. Nice kick into touch by Damien McKenzie. Under 22 metres out. And nope, Spider, just a flat patch. Hiccups. And oh man, the Blues are thrashing the Satyrs tomorrow. Are we a big weekend? Or will be a big weekend for the weekend, Tammy? Says the snooze. Now it's going to be Jacobson goes back across the Ramekapoehapi. Quick hands there. Now finding the pass on the outside was a Tino Nana Satoro, but it's knocked on by a Moni Narawa, a man who couldn't put a foot wrong last week. Now just hasn't quite found his feet in this game. Come on, the Chiefs, says Brandon. And Dream On Snooze Crusaders on a roll, says Ruth. Well, if you guys are keen to see a little bit more Crusaders Blues action, we recently have had 2 videos go up on the channel. One of myself and my mum playing Rugby Challenge, playing along with the Blues versus Crusaders, and the other is myself and George. Now, both of them involve swearing. Surprisingly, in both, not much coming from me. Interesting enough. And why are there so many penalties in rugby? Is it because the players are so dumb? Oh, my mum's got big volume going on her game. She's listening to... Sounds like a casino slot at the moment. And Hamish says, just Carl, I'm drunk, says Tame. And I was like, come on the Chiefs, says Tilly. And I was like, come on the Chiefs, says Wonga there. I believe Chiefs will win this game, says Jeanette. But yeah, I don't think it's so much that the players are dumb. I think it is more of the case of the rule book at times can be that blurry in terms of what the rules are, and depending on the ref that you've got, that sometimes in one game they'd do all right, and other games they would not. Tobias has said, "Tell Matt he's a what is a boy bat?" I know he called you it, Toby. Now you're calling it. I'm gonna have to Google this. Is it on Urban Dictionary? Will I learn what a boy bat is? Should I even be saying it? Dictionary. We're gonna learn the meaning of boy bat. Sorry, we haven't found it. What is it? Perez scored again, says Christian. They certainly did. 22 points to 15, now close to the touchline for them. I see red, I see red, I see red, says Spider Mech. Now Harry Wilson runs forward. I'm back into the pocket. Tom Liner kicks it downfield, and Aussies are galloping to the finish. Big kick down to Amoni Narawa. It goes across to Damien McKenzie. Last 20 minutes going to be absolutely crucial in this contest. Great take from Jock Campbell, who will now kick it back in behind. Come on, the Chiefs, says Ella Hill. Taken by Amoni Narawa now. Runs it out of his 22. Returns fire with a boot of his own. Finding a bit of space in behind. Liner in no hurry here to take this ball. All slips a little bit. Kicks it into touch. And now the Chiefs will have themselves another line out. Oh, yeah, Reds me baby. And at FMG Stadium, Waikato Chiefs versus Hurricanes next year, Saturday. And easy red. I was the 8% pre-match, lol, says Trevor there. Well, that's the thing. They came in as $8.50 underdogs. But the Reds are a more than capable side. And, I mean, I said the Chiefs will win by 8. That was my prediction. I feel like, to be honest, it might not be a mile off if they find a bit of momentum here. If they don't, then the Reds could have a really good crack. But I see that as another advantage in favour of the Chiefs. Cortez Aratama goes back across to Sama Penifino. I just missed 2 tries from the Reds. Says Ed there. Back into the pocket of Moni Narawa. Going to jog it forward. Couldn't quite find the gap that they were after. But this would be the first win for the Reds if they are able to win. The first win for the Reds since 2013 up against the Chiefs. In fact, it might even be up against any New Zealand side in New Zealand. Now, nice pass. Anton Leonard Brown, quick hands there to Luke Jacobson on the outside. Now off to the left. Josh Ioane out there on the field. Forward pass from Manakai Selby Rickett. The referee did not see it. That could be a big call there. The Chiefs do continue. No. Going back and forward. Okay, so they're going back for the penalty advantage anyway. Abbies need to take hungry from players to the World Cup, not mediocre players. Oh, hungry form players. Sorry. I read that wrong, didn't I? I was thinking you were going to try and like take the food away from the players to make them play. And then when they do well, you reward them with like a chocolate sundae or something. I'm sure there'll be a lot of players who are keen on that initiative. It's going to be kicked in touch by Damien McKenzie. 10 meters out from the line. Now the Chiefs once again, another attacking opportunity. And it's funny. The moment I can see the odds off to my side, anytime that the Chiefs have an attack, they go to favourites. Anytime they butcher the attack, they go back to underdogs. So it's quite interesting. But Tyrone Thompson sitting there now out on the field. He has replaced Bradley Slater. And Natoa Koi coming on the field. That is for Simon Parker. Is the Red able to pull a big upset today? At the moment, they've got a decent chance. The throw is not straight to Natoa Koi. And the Reds get themselves the scrum now only 5 meters out from their line. No Samasoni. That is why, says Ed. I mean, yeah, the Chiefs, they are missing quite a few good players. They're missing Samasoni Takiaho. They are missing Sam Kane. They are missing Brody Retallick. And they are missing Brad Weber. But they still came into this game with a very strong side and would have heavily expected to do well. And agree, Mumbo? Just like how Hansen took Ryan, made of glass Grotti, after or over Laumape. WDF was that, or even leaving Akira behind. Slute's forward stats were elite in 2019. Also, Tyrone Thompson will be an All Black one day. He reckons, mate. Yeah, he's got a very good chance of Tyrone Thompson. Got huge potential. He's a huge being. He does very well for Hawke's Bay. Now, short side. Here comes McDermott with the run off to Matt Greeley. Now moving up to about 30 metres out from their line. I think McDermott might have almost knocked that ball down. Connor Vest now tackled. Red still under quite a bit of pressure at the moment here, though. Now another big run. Like this. We'll go like that. There we go. Now Tom Liner kicks the ball downfield. Nicely taken by Amoni Narawa again here. Now McKenzie. Off to the left-hand side, looking for the gap. Goes off to Anton Leonard-Brown, who does get it slightly wrong. Now, yep, it's going to be all right. Still available at the back. I see that Te Taurata Hurianing has made his way onto the field. That looked high on McKenzie. That was illegal from Connor Vest. That should be an advantage and may even end up being a yellow card. Nice inside ball to Amoni Naro. Runs onto it nicely. Throws the ball away. Bit of a miscommunication, and it's the knock on from the Reds. The scrum goes to the Chiefs. And the Reds and the Tars will be back. It's Brumbies defence. Eddie is turning up to the games. Ratama Roigard for the World Cup says Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. Although I'll be honest, at this stage, if I had to pick out of the two, I would take Roigard. We've seen in this game that Ratama just didn't quite have that same impact that he would have liked to have. Johnny Sexton's injuries issues. Irish fans are quiet. French are faves. Says Nate there. It's a shame because I always use Johnny Sexton in my thumbnail. Now I can't if he's injured. With the Reds, while you can, says Trevor. I mean, the Chiefs are $3.10 underdogs now, so that would be big money for a comeback for them as well. Also, we have got there as well. Could do 70 for the ABs too. Here's this news. Also, go the Chiefs. Says Jeremy, like they are saying, 17 minutes remaining, so still plenty of time. Phil Blake, the Reds assistant coach, hardly got a voice left at this stage. I just want to quickly check the benches. Okay, so the Chiefs have only got, I believe, one more change that they can make. They've already made Tyrone Thompson, Natoa Koi, all those boys already out there. The only player who I think isn't on the field is Alex Nankervel. Maybe Atu Molly is no, Atu Molly is out. No, he's not. Okay, so it's Atu Molly and Alex Nankervel, the two remaining players who they haven't subbed onto the field. Just need a try, says Jeremy. That is true. If they get a try and then some sort of penalty, they will be back into the lead in this contest. I said at round 3, the Reds went downhill. Says the snooze and come on the Chiefs. Some Penny Finau has taken is a token Big Islander dude. Give him the ball and let him run hard. Wait for the offload after contact. New Zealand Rugby. Yeah, I think he could actually be one of the keys. He has had a fantastic game, I felt. Even though the Chiefs haven't played that great throughout this contest, I think he's been one of the standouts for them. Now McKenzie goes across to Atena Nanasatoro. Alex Nankervel, he is on the field, so only Atu Molly to come here for them. Now Ollie Norris decided to leave John Ryan on, and fasting the players prior to kickoff isn't as bad as it sounds. Hemi, it sharpens the focus indeed, says Mumbo Jumbo, and he's Fozzie's fave boy. He'll be on restricted minutes, says Nate. Now, kick downfield again from the Chiefs. Nicely taken there by Suliasi Vunivalu. We haven't really seen him run with the ball yet. Just has had to kick it away quite often. Damien McKenzie now receives it for the Reds, and he's going to try and back his space going off to the left-hand side. Atena Nanasatoro stepping on the inside too. He's already scored himself 2 tries in this contest. A draw will do it for the Chiefs, or will do for the Chiefs. D-Mac drop kick. Says Mr. Loom could be on the cards. Nanasatoro, though, also has the chance for that hat trick, but Nato Akoi hits the ball up. I'm surprised we saw nothing for Connor Vest, though, with that late shot that he put in on Damien McKenzie just before. I thought that it could have been something a bit more serious. And McKenzie off to Alex Nankervel. Nice pierce of the line. Looking for support. Just ran out of space. Somehow kept it in the field of play. Gives it off to Luke Jacobson. Bump off there from Ramika Poihipi. Now back across to the right-hand side. Selby Rickett. Big shot coming in on him. We need a try, says Jeremy. Or even 3 points at this stage. As silly as it sounds, if they took the 3 points, then they just need that try a little bit later on. Love to see Peter Gusto a cooler in the AB's mix. The guy's ball handling skill. It's like watching ZZB. There's Mumbo Zumbo. Oh no. Summer Penny Finau's hurt his knee. That is a big shame because, like I mentioned, he has been absolutely fantastic throughout this game. Damien McKenzie passes it over the top of him. Goes to Tino Nanisatoro off to Jacobson now, 40 metres out. For the Chiefs, and gosh, Chiefs, says Jeanette. But yeah, this does not look too flash for Samapeni Finau. I hope it is nothing too serious. Now D-Mac kicks it in behind, looking for territory, kicks it out on the full, and the Reds will go back to halfway where Damien McKenzie kicked it from. And Richie did a great drop kick round one against the Chiefs. Here's Mr. Lerm. Oh, it's not good, but he's still moving it for Samapeni Finau, but only because the person's got him by the boot. What happens here? I think it's when it comes in and gets the clean out. Or did he even make it to the breakdown? Just watching his legs here. Oh. Got buckled, unfortunately, by one of the Reds players. I think it might have been Harry Wilson. Got that half little shot in. Is he going to be able... He's not going to continue this match, I don't think, but I hope he's going to be all right. I should say, waiting for the Chiefs' momentum. Players look confused and somehow forgot the halftime talks. Samapeni Finau, does he want... I don't think he should continue here. I think he's got quite a bad injury to that knee. But he looks like he wants to go back and join the huddle. Give it another crack and go the Reds. Says Mapasoni there. And yeah, they're doing very well at the moment. The Reds 7 points up at this stage of the match. Going to quickly check something once again. And come on, you Reds, says James. I mean, the Reds, they deserve to win this game. The way that they've played, I can't think of too much that they have actually done terribly in this contest. Well, we'll go like this. Oh, another knock on from the Reds. Sorry about that. There we go. One of that. I was just researching, trying to work out. It is 2013, the last time the Reds were successful. I think that's on New Zealand soil. I didn't get too much of a chance to get through it. That was a big shot on Fraser McWright. Fire up. There's Mr. Nathan. Come on, the Reds. And there I was. Big game for us tomorrow, brother. Let's see some good rugby. Wallabies to learn or to win the next 10 Bledisloe. Says James, to be honest, if they won one soon, I know that a lot of Kiwis are like, oh, we want them to win it, but some of them don't mean it. I actually think that it would heavily benefit the rivalry if Australia won a Bledisloe Cup or two in the near future. Like, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Or wouldn't be a bad thing, I should say. No way, said Jeremy. Maybe not 10 in a row, though. Maybe like give them 1 or 2 out of the next 10 or 3 or 4 and just see how it develops from there. That one is going up in the scrum. Oh, got stood on by his teammate. Well, Sikas, says James Mortimer there. I feel like it was like a negotiation, wasn't it? You said the 10. I said, well, maybe not 10, but we'll cut it back a little bit. And you said, yep, that'll do. Just a few. And everybody thinks the Chief make a comeback here. But the way I look at it, well, that's another story. They sound like the start of like a movie. You know how they have like that prologue? Prologue? Is that before or after? Normally pre. Prologue? Prologue? Prologue a word? That pre-suffix? I'm just making up words. That's going to be the Chiefs now. Get themselves the penalty on the halfway line. 100% no, says Trevor there. The Chiefs playing great this year, says Jeremy. So, and Hamish, the intro. Yeah, the intro is an easier way of putting it. I don't know why I didn't use the word intro. Whereas, you know, I do YouTube, so I kind of have a few intros. I did an intro on this video. I have an outro too. There's a fancy word for it. Are the Chiefs full strength? No, but they are strengthy enough, if that makes sense. Like, they are still a very solid side, even though they are missing quite a few of their All Blacks because they have that manual stand down that they have to have. So they haven't got Sam Cane, Brodie Retallick, Samasoni Takiaho, Brad Weber, maybe one more as well. But I believe those are all the players they are missing. Where's the brother? Captain Kerr. He's probably sailing somewhere. We might see him for the late night live streams. That's normally when he pops in. Says, hello, Chiefs, we need another score, please. Says Jeanette, and come on, the Chiefs, says Anorka. There as well. And now the rolling maul for the Chiefs, looking to get this game just that little bit closer. How many minutes left, bro? Says coming early at the moment. There are 9 minutes remaining. Front row strong, says Jeremy, going off. Run from Ramikapoya. But if the Reds can get the turnover now, would be huge for them. But if the Chiefs score now, it's getting interesting in the final moments. Yes, another score because I smoked all the other one, says Marco, and 10 more minutes to go, Chiefs. Apparently, Jacobson is the Chiefs captain in this game. He needs to lead the pack and get the boys momentum, says Ed. Now they've got the advantage as well. Alex Nankerville takes a snipe around the side of the breakdown. Same with Summer Penifino. The fact that that man's continuing this match is insane. Because he looked like he was done and dusted. Put him on the bench and give him some ice. But he said, nah, give me a try. Now, nice pass on the outside to Damien McKenzie. Referee's gone down in a tumble. Slippery out there by the looks of it. Let's go. The Reds, says Levi. Now only a few meters out from the line. Great body position from the Reds player, but he wasn't on the ball. Let's go, Reds. And also, a sail safe out there, Mr. says Kerr. And the bigger you are, the harder you fall. I mean, Paul Williams, he fell pretty hard there as well. The referee, Carter Gordon, locked for the Wallabies 10. He's got a good crack. I don't know what they're doing with James O'Connor at the moment for the Reds. They seem to be wanting to play him at 12 more, but I don't know if he'll get a spot at 12 for the Wallabies unless that is a new Eddie Jones tactic perhaps. Now Ollie Norris, 5 meters from the line. Reds just narrowly holding him up after 15 phases. They continue to drive. Big Tyrone Thompson of the Magpies. Inches from the line again. Tata Rotahuria Rangi. Nice pass from Josh Ioane and Summer Penifino. If anyone deserved a try, and this is not biased, by the way, this would have been the reaction if Tate McDermott had scored the try for the Reds. But if anyone needed one, it's Summer Penifino. Second try of the season. The big man in motion, just not giving up. His knee looked absolutely buggered before. He said, nah, I'm going to keep going. Right place, right time for the offload from Josh Ioane. And gets the ball, scores the try, Summer Penifino. Massive work from the big man, put in a shift. He's the man of the match of the Chiefs win. I can tell you that right now. Was that try legal? In what way, James? What were we looking at? I was too busy enjoying the fact that Summer Penifino scored it after what he's been able to do in this game. But now it is 22 points to 22. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chiefs go to $2.15 underdogs. Well, under favorites, $2.15 favorites. The draw is $2.15, and the Reds are $5.50. Now, I don't encourage gambling. Gamble responsibly. But if there was a time that you were going to put money on someone to win this game, you're pretty decent in terms of the odds overall on the board. Gamble responsibly. Don't do it if you don't do it. Don't do it if you shouldn't do it. That's the rule. I just read the odds. I don't know much about them. He's been outstanding, Mr. Finel. Every year gets better. And the Reds are done, says Drew, and Brian Sterling says James. Okay. I thought I missed something there. Oh, awkward one for Josh Ioane. He has to claim it. Wow, that was a big slide in for the Reds, but it looks like they've been able to claim it. Yes, they do, and now they've got the ball inside of the 22 of the Chiefs. Drop goal, says Jeremy. And do it if you have money to lose, says Trevor. Yeah, that's always the thing with gambling. They always say, don't bet it if you can't afford to lose it. Now James O'Connor goes off to Jock Campbell. This is interesting here. The Chiefs are actually $3.60 underdogs. Reds are $3.20 underdogs. And the draw is $1.92. Drop goal. Everyone's calling for it. Are they going to go for it, though? I don't know if they will here. I don't know if they've got the confidence to do so. Whether or not they go for the try. Can you know what we chose on the poll for the second half? Hemi says snooze. I cannot, but I know that some of you guys would have backed the Reds, even though they were heavy percentage underdogs for that one. Now Harry Wilson charges forward. Oh, Chiefs on the ball. Advantage against them. That is an easy 3 points now for the Reds if they want it. Now Tate McDermott thought about sniping around the side. Penalty advantage in their favour. Now I applaud both teams playing good rugby tonight. It's been a very good game. I have to give both sides credit where credit's due. They've been very strong. Like, yes, there's been mistakes from both of these sides, but it's just been a very good game of rugby to watch. You know? Like, it's flown by as well, which is absolutely fantastic. At under 65.5, boys, yeah, you'll be safe there, won't you? By about 20 points or so. And go the Chiefs, says Jeremy, and come on, you Reds. Hit the like, subscribe. The Kiwi lads, welcome in. Says Nate. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Wide cutout pass for the Reds. Now Jock Campbell sneaking up to the 5 meter line here. Reds They score now, might just about be enough. There's a new advantage. This could be a yellow card soon for the Chiefs. And the penalty goes the way of the Reds. Hey, listen, he gave him the Mike Tyson. Hey, listen, you got two options, that one or that one. He has said, but no yellow card. Is there golden point extra time? There actually would be. So we might have to strap in for a little bit longer rugby, ladies and gentlemen. They have now taken away all betting options for this game. They've said, nope, no more, seeing as we're into the final 4 minutes. Come on, the Reds, says Nate. I was going to say milk the advantage, says the snooze, and go the Chiefs, says Jeremy. Right, they've got the easy 3 points. You've got to take it, don't you? Take the 3 points, Reds. Even though, yes, there's a chance at a 7 available here, you've got to go 3. Although Tom Linehart's been shocking with his kicking, give it to JOC. That sounded like I was rapping. Call me an MC. Sorry, it just keeps going. You can't rhyme C with C either. It doesn't work. Team wide, yellow for the Chiefs. Send them all off, says James. Commitment, though, we see from the Reds early on in this contest and late in this game as well. They just haven't been given up. I believe that was Liam Wright. And how long to play, cuz, says James. Currently, we've got 3 minutes remaining on the clock. 100%, says Trevor. Come on, the Chiefs. Big tackles made by the Chiefs. Hamish got bars. He's wrapping it up. Says Nate and go the Reds. Says Caminelli. They're taking the 3, or at least trying to. Tom Liner. It's over, and that is now going to make the score 25 points to 22. Now, if anyone remembers back near the start of the stream, we don't know how this match is going to end. We've still got 3 minutes, but right back at the start of the stream, when someone asked, do the Reds have the opportunity to get themselves the win here? I said only if they score 25 or more points. At the moment, not mile off. You don't want another game tonight? We are. We have got the Fijian draw versus the Western Force. The Reds have lost their last 21 games on New Zealand soil. It's the longest drought by an Australian team since the inception of Super Rugby in 1996. So this is their opportunity to go far. James O'Connor has to go off the field for the last 3 minutes, though, for an HIA. That is massive for them because he is a great player to have. Go the Reds, do the honours, says Ski. And Hamish's Antarctica rap song. That is a throwback and a half, isn't it? Right. James has made his way on for O'Connor. That is not a joke, by the way. That is a penalty going the way of the Reds, though. Yeah, it's actually Paddy James on the field for James O'Connor. Just James is in different places. I'm going to cry, lol, says no mum. I feel like I'm going to cry and lol almost don't belong in the same sentence, but I know the feeling. What we betting, boys? Over or under, says Trevor. I would say under your 66, you'll be all right. The naked trader has said who scored. So the Reds, they have had actually 2 of their props scoring. George Blake, Ngor was able to score himself a try as well. Oh, that's an awkward landing. For, I believe that would have been Filippo Dalgunu. I think that's the 2 tries that they've got. They might have scored 1 more as well, but my brain won't let me remember who it was. And then other than that, for the Chiefs, we did see a try for Sama Penifino and 2 for Atena Nanasatoro. That's the second string Chiefs side. They're strong. They are just missing their All Blacks at this stage. But I still don't think that can discredit what we have seen from the Reds in this game so far. But it is far from over. We've got 90 seconds. Sama Penifino, the way that man's been playing, still got a late-minute chance. Also, come on, Reds, let's do it. Nice run there from Damien McKenzie. Dragged down by Jock Campbell. Now, the Reds at the moment, they have got themselves 4 points if they walk away from this game as it sits. The Chiefs would get themselves 1 for the losing bonus point, but Atena Nanasatoro now getting them 45 meters out the line near the Chiefs. Now Tete Rotahuriarangi going across nicely. Alex Nyankavel, big fin there. Looks like there's a player. Oh, it's Sama Penifino. He's down for the Chiefs. He's taking a head knock. He's lying on his back at the moment. It might be a neck injury here for Sama Penifino. That man has thrown absolutely everything into this game. And it looks like he is now down and not looking too flash at all. But it's a 4th-string Reds side, says James there. And how's the Reds keeping up with the Chiefs, says Jensen. They've just played well. Oh, it's a big cut, unfortunately, on the top of Ateno Nanasatoro. Oh, sorry, not Ateno Nanasatoro. On the top of Sama Penifino's head. And also, Simon Penifino is on the ground again. Yeah, he's put in a shift. They just wait. That was his stats. We're going to go back and just have a very quick look at that while we have the stoppage. Summer Penifino, are you guys ready for some impressive stats? 8 carries, 103 meters made, 3 defenders beaten, 15 tackles made. He has had a game and a half. And unfortunately, I think he got stood on by his own teammate. Friendly fire. Oh, no, it might have actually, no, it was the elbow of Paddy James that got him. Brumbies to the top, not quite, no, there's still quite a gap there between the two sides. And will it be Pints and St. Albans after the infants tomorrow? Marco says mumbo jumbo. And attack is still strong, says the snooze. So I should mention, with the stoppage, the Chiefs have got themselves the scrum. Now, this scrum will end up somewhere around halfway, which means that the Chiefs get themselves the penalty. They will have to make the decision of whether or not they want to take on the 3 for the draw, corner for the win. Then the corner has the chance of a loss. So does the kick at the post, though. For Damien McKenzie, that would be the most crucial kick he would have to take throughout the Super Rugby season so far. But that is still after this next scrum. Better lose a game now than come finals, says Blues Nate. And I'll say it again, even though I think it will annoy a lot of Chiefs supporters. I think it's so much more beneficial for the competition that it's a Australian side that end the Chiefs winning streak, if that is how it ends. This game is not over, though. We've still got another 45 seconds. But if that is how it is so much more beneficial, I feel, for the whole competition. That Summer Penny Finau, no, sorry, he's just on the screen. That a Reds, or sorry, that an Australian side in that winning streak. Right, Simon Parker makes his way back out onto the field. Summer Penny Finau on the back of a stretcher. He walked over to it. He sat down. No way, says Jeremy. Happy Mother's Day, Chiefs. Says Muppy Sonny there. And well said, Mr. Commentary Man. Come on, the Chiefs. There's Anoka there as well. So Brad Thorne, his heart will be racing. The Reds bench, no one is sitting down at the moment. Other than that, man, what's up with him? Has he got an injury or he's just lazy? I think he's just lazy. Doesn't want to get back up. Yes, sir, says the snooze. Big thumbs up from Summer Penifino and also the rock on symbol. He's had a fantastic game. In fact, we're going to give him another clap, even though he's going off the field with an injury. My mum was wondering what that slapping noise was. But another great effort from Summer Penifino. Wallabies to go unbeaten for a decade against the All Blacks, says James. Now, James, we might have to reason a little bit. Might have to say only a couple Australian wins for a start, and then they build, and then it gets a bit more even. We'll go with that. And then, we'll see how it goes. Decade's a long time. I've just realized in a decade, I will be 33. And I'll probably still be sitting here doing the live streams, just chilling on the stream on a Friday night. That's as long as Super Rugby's still going. Taranaki area, not Waikato. Yeah, that's the thing. They won't want to play at Taranaki again. That is for sure. Alt free kick for the Chiefs. Now they've got to make the decision. And that face of Triple T going, means he didn't really want that. They're going for the scrum again. Now I know what you Surrey boys get up to. Reds boys, says Marco. Those Queensland's Reds boys must be super cold here in New Zealand. A draw will be sore, says Mr. Loom. Wait, you are 23 years old, says Timmy. I am. Do I look younger or older? Bro, you 23? Once again, younger or older? I hope you're going to say I look younger. But some people say I look like I could be like a 30-year-old. My mum just laughed at me. Triple T. Ball available at the back for the Chiefs. Big push from the Reds, but the ball almost gets out. Yes, it does. Rame Kapoya, but now Alex Nankerville looking for the step 40 meters out. Now we are after the full time, at least 45, says James. Yeah, I'll take 45. Now, closer to the line. You look older. I'm 28 and have no beard, babyface man, says Timmy Smith. Oh, advantage for a high tackle for the Chiefs. 40 meters out. 28, says Jimmy O'Brien. See, I feel like, I'll take looking a bit older. I feel like it's not a bad thing. It's a receding hairline, isn't it? Now going off to the right-hand side, Damien McKenzie going to Amoni Narawa. This is a big opportunity for the Chiefs to get back into this game. No way, says Anonymous. Now, 30 meters out. 45 seconds, second years ago, Amy. Should be over now. Back wide, they are still playing under advantage. Alex Nankerville trying to decide what the plan is. Tries to go through. Up to 15 meters out now from the line for the Chiefs. This is to keep the unbeaten streak alive. The advantage again in favor of the Chiefs. So they can kick for the draw here if they really wanted to. That would take us to golden point time. Now, off to the right-hand side. Ramika Poyepi. Cross kick. Moni Narawa. It sits up for him. 10 meters out from the line now for the Chiefs. Still the advantage being played. Triple T goes off to Manakai Selby Rickett. Now Tyrone Thompson. Look for the offload. Was it knocked on? It's gone backwards, says the referee. But the Reds, I believe they were able to take it back, but now it pops back out on the side of the Chiefs. Tahuria Rangi goes off now to Josh Ioane. 10 meters from the line here. The Chiefs, if they score, they win. Simon Parker. Taranaki here. It is their first game of the season. It might be their last, depending on how this last couple seconds goes. Close to the turnover for the Reds, but still under advantage. The Chiefs on attack. 10 meters out from the line. They will much prefer an advantage about here, though. And after this is the draw. It certainly is. There's going to be the draw taking on the Western Force. That is at 9:30 p.m. We will be starting that live stream in 30 minutes' time. Tyrone Thompson now round the side again. Phase after phase. John Ryan, he's played the full 80 minutes. Now over the ball, the Reds, unable to get the turnover. Short ball. No, they've gone out wide. Now Alex Nankerville looking at the corner close to the touchline. I don't understand how they're still playing that advantage from 15 phases ago. They're up to 20 phases now for the Chiefs. Now a big run from Natoa Koi. Tahuria Rangi goes off to Tyrone Thompson. There's a lot of T's in that sentence. Is there going to be a T for the try for the Chiefs? Now Manakai Selby Rickett, 5 meters out, 23 phases in. Tahuria Rangi goes off to Ollie Norris. He made meters with the last carry. He didn't with that one. Now they go off again. 83 minutes through. Quick hands from Ioane. Now spinning at Tena Nana Satori. He's currently sitting on 2 tries. I believe the advantage is over now, I should mention as well. Now, 25 phases in for the Chiefs. Tahuria Rangi goes off to Alex Nankerville. Numbers on the outside. Big bump off from Ramika Poyepi. 2 meters from the line now for the Chiefs. Tyrone Thompson, the tank from Hawke's Bay. He's held up, or is he? They're going to have to check this either way because they can't see it. Tyrone Thompson has either been flattened out and scored the try over the line, or he's going to be held up. It's called as held up, and the Reds are victorious. They will end the Chiefs' unbeaten run for 2023 Super Rugby Pacific, and the ecstaticness of the side. Is that even a word? I can make them up at this stage. But the Reds and Brad Thorne does the little nod of approval. He knows that's what he wanted out of this game. A massive, massive result for the Reds. The first time in 10 years the Reds have got themselves the win over the Chiefs in New Zealand. Is the score a misprint? It is not. That is the full-time score. The Reds, 25 points to 22. Great for the competition. I agree. At the end of the day, the Chiefs have been absolutely fantastic throughout the Super Rugby Pacific season. They weren't on their A game today. The Reds played a very good game of rugby. And the thing that makes it so exciting now is we get to see Chiefs redemption. Or we get to see the start of a Chiefs downfall. That is what we have to wait for next week. Are the Chiefs going to be able to take this loss, turn themselves into champions? Or are they going to have a couple more rough games and all of a sudden the competition just gets that a little bit closer? Their next week's game is going to be up against the Hurricanes on Saturday night. That's going to be a big game to be able to cover. Great results at the Flying Pan Man. And wow, did not see that coming, says Stephen Marks. And also we have got their BS reference, says Jeremy. Jeremy is not happy. Wait, reference or referee? You don't like the fact that I said that the Chiefs might be able to redeem themselves, I assume. And also great defense from the Reds. Blues going to win Super Rugby title now, says Rugby Itch. F up, says Jeremy. Jeremy's very angry. I feel like Jeremy's the type of bloke that when his side's winning, he's a happy chappy, but as soon as they start losing, he starts throwing knives. What a game. Good for the Super Rugby competition. Great call, says Murakuma. And also we have got there, at least it was only by 3 points, Says Nobbum. That is true. They will still get themselves the bonus point for this game, the Reds. And also, stick it up, Reds. We got you next week, Blues versus. Yeah, that's the thing. Blues versus Reds next Friday night at 9:35. Going to be a great one. It's saying 2%. It gave the drawer. Says Sethavini in there. Yeah, $8.50 underdogs going into this game, the Reds. Anyone who put money on them will be rolling in it. My TAB account consists of about 7 cents. So I would not be rolling in it. Crusaders will win the final. Although if I did put that 7 cents on, I'd be about 50 cents richer, wouldn't I? Great for Super Rugby Pacific. Or great for Super Rugby Pacific. And also kudos coach for the Reds. And also we have got their fart smeller ree. Is that how you'd say it? Smart fella ree says minty tea. And you've earned a sub for that cool customers, Joe. So I appreciate it, mate. And hopefully we do get to see you back for the next game that we are doing. It is the draw versus the Western Force. We will be doing quite a bit of that game. Then we've also got Samoa versus Ireland in the sevens, just a little bit later on. And lol, says Jeremy. And Chiefs will win the final, says Jeremy. See, that's the thing. They didn't play well in this game. I think everyone will admit that, but they still have good potential. I'm not saying your team's bad, Jeremy, okay? I feel like we got off on the wrong foot. They were heated. You got a bit heated in the moment. I forgive you. Next week, we'll see how they go against the Canes. And also, nah, Chris, what comp have you been watching? Says Oko there. Also, we have got Chiefs. A losing run will start now, says Dinesh. And I tipped the Chiefs to win. I'm overly happy as a Reds fan to see them get the win. Did you tip against your side, the Darramundi? You didn't back your boys. It was a big game, though. Tell you what, Chiefs, next time someone's like, hey, you want to play in Taranaki? They're going to be like, oh, thank you. We're all right. We like Waikato. We like Hamilton, FMG Stadium. Well done, Reds. Bad luck, Chiefs. Thanks, Hammy. Says King T. Chiefs passion. For the full 80, don't count them out, says the Snooze and I, says Lewis. Welcome in, mate. And back to the Blazers. Said good to get the loss out of the way now. Instead of in the finals. Exactly right. I actually said near the start of the competition when the when the Chiefs started their winning streak, I said, I think they're actually more beneficial having a loss before getting to the final playoff games, mainly for that reason, so that you know that you've got that feeling, you know what you did wrong, and then you can improve on it. Hey, Hamish, this was the best game of the year, entertaining. It was a great game of rugby. Like, I think even the Chiefs supporters, even though they had the loss here, will admit, pretty awesome game to watch. Like, back and forth. There weren't a huge amount of errors from either side either. We got to see a lot of free flowing rugby. Like that last play from the Chiefs getting about 27 phases in before the mistake came. Like that's the kind of thing that like you can only dream of, really. 27 phases. No one does that. Normally it's 5 phases and then someone drops it. Now wheels coming off for the Chiefs, says James. And this is the start of going downhill, says Bonamic. We will have to wait and see next week up against the Hurricanes. Can they fire back? It is going to be a home game at. Let's just check this. FMG Stadium, is it? There's Taranaki again. They'll be relocating that one as we speak. Yeah, it's at FMG Stadium, so they should be all right. The next one. Oh, well, now I watched the Black Ferns beat Poland. And also player of the match, I would give it to Summer Penny Finau, even though he's not on the winning side, which I know that that's probably why they wouldn't. But if we're picking a Reds player, I would say someone like a Fraser McWright. I thought he had a very strong game. Who else could you give it to? I mean, yeah, James. Well, Fraser McWright's probably my main pick if I had to pick a Reds player. Although someone like a Jock Campbell wasn't too bad either. No, if in way there's anonymous and the amount of ball and play was great. Says big like, yeah, there was hardly any line out time taken up, hardly any scrums, just free flowing rugby. And yeah, both sides I thought played well at times. Both sides still in this game will look at things that they can improve on for next game. But yeah, overall, great way to start Super Rugby Pacific round 12, I would say. And I think that's a good place to end it on as well. I do thank you all very much for tuning into the stream. We have got another one just around the corner, 27 minutes time. It will be the Fijian draw taking on none other than the Western Force. A huge defensive effort at the end by the Reds. Normally either the attacking team drops it, the defensive team would slip up with the amount of the phases they went through. Yeah, I was extremely impressed that they managed to stop it for 25 phases and then hold him up as well. Like Tyrone Thompson is a big guy. He's not easy to stop when he's that close to the line. If you look at something like the Bunnings NBC, he just steamrolls his way over the line time after time, but the Reds were just able to stop him. I thought they were going to go upstairs for that last one, just in case. Breaking news, Sam Cane so upset with loss, he resigned from the All Blacks captaincy. I don't think he had a captaincy to resign from. I think at this stage he's probably going to struggle to get that C next to his name, other than the one in his last name there with the capital C for Kane. But yeah, I think he's going to struggle to be skipper, to be honest. And this will make the Chiefs even better. Better for Fozzie's AB selection being hopes. And thus, breakdown from Sky will be harsh and biased, do you reckon? Probably. They won't be happy. But I think it was like, I know that people will say it's because they were missing a few of their key players, but they still had a great squad out there on the field that had more than enough potential of getting themselves the victory here. But the Reds, they just played better. They were strong. They were very good throughout this game, the Reds. Yeah, nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. We will be popping away and then coming back for the next live stream. We will draw in Western Four start. That will be starting at 9:30. So 26 minutes time is when we will be back and ready to go for another live stream. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one.